Hi everybody, I'm Devin and I read books, and welcome to my old school April cozy reading vlog thing. So I had actually planned on doing my next video being my Fresh Hell reading vlog. I sat down to do all my clips and everything in iMovie today, and in making space on my Mac, I lost half the clips. So I'm gonna have to reshoot that. I'm not gonna deal with that today. It's been very hectic at work today. I've just had kind of a chill day. Just to give you guys an update on where I'm at with old school April. I did DNF. I don't have it with me. It's on a shelf over there. Forest of Vanity and Valor, the first book of the Vanthria series by A.P. Beswick. Sorry, I had to look at the author's name. It wasn't bad. It wasn't drawing me in. And old school April, I really want to focus on stuff that just sucks me in and I can kind of get lost in, whether it's super nostalgic or just a little bit nostalgic, has the same vibes as the stuff I was into back in 2002, 2003. I've kind of just been watching ER and moping all morning. I'm actually going to probably put on some Svengoolie. I need to finish the Willard episode. And then read a little bit more of the book I started instead for my fantasy pick. Siege and Storm from Le Bardugo. This is the second book in the Shadow and Bone series, and I'm really enjoying it so far. I really like the world. I never read the books. I love the Netflix show. Breaks my heart that Netflix is Netflix. And then just a little bit ago, I actually colored my first nostalgic coloring page. I mean, Pikachu is from 1990, Scorbunny's new, but come on, at least half of this is from 1990 something. So yeah, I'm also going to do a little bit of kind of content planning in this vlog, scripting stuff out. I have some skits and some jokes that I want to work into some videos. So I'm going to get the ball rolling on some of that. We're going to play some B-roll, and I will see you guys in a minute. Hello everybody, I am back. So my car's actually in the shop right now, getting worked on. I need a new CV axle. So I walked up the street to a library that I haven't been to. So I'm hoping to get some cool B-roll for the OSA vlog while I'm here. I have the flu. COVID is kind of going around my partner's job, and we're pretty sure I have it and she's gonna get it. So I just genuinely felt like crap. I'm still having a fun time with old school April. I did finish Siege and Storm. We'll come back to that in a second. I've been watching a ton of stuff, been kind of laid up. I haven't been reading a ton, but I did the coloring. I have been watching a lot of ER. I'm on like season 7 now. This morning I watched The Land Before Time, and I think I'm gonna watch The Black Cauldron today. The Black Cauldron is definitely my favorite Disney 80s cartoon. Well, it's probably my favorite classic Disney animation, because I don't watch the Pixar stuff as much. I did also start a book that I left over there now that I'm thinking about it. I started reading the first book in the Warriors series. I've been really wanting to read this, and I'm actually going to do a video on it. It's one of the things I got to try and shoot today that I'm feeling a little bit better. But I really do want to dive into this series. I didn't read it when it was coming out. That was kind of my pompous reading era. I read Dune around the time that these were coming out, and was reading like the Star Wars expanded universe books. So anything that wasn't like space opera or big fantasy book, I just didn't give the time of day unless it was like Fear Street, which I couldn't get at our library for whatever reason. They just didn't have it. I'd always have to order it in. But I started reading that. I'm definitely going to try to get through the first one in the next day or two, because I'm going to read the next video for Old School April. Not this vlog, but the next one will be centered around the nest. I am still reworking on my Fresh Hell vlog after I unfortunately deleted half of that footage. Hopefully that'll come out by the end of Old School April. If not, then it's going to come out next month in May for halfway to Halloween. I want to do some stuff surrounding that. I'm very excited. I cannot wait for spooky season in general. So I really want to make sure that even if no other content in May that I try and make is centered around Halloween, that I get something out around May 15th for the halfway to Halloween celebration. What else have I been watching? Oh, I've been watching a lot of classic Pokemon. I've actually got a movie, Lucario and the Mystery of Mew, which is not that vintage. It's from about 2006, but I got it queued up. I'm gonna put it on as background noise while I read. And then I've just been rewatching all of the Jurassic Parks kind of in order. I did miss the watch along last night, unfortunately, because of work. That's why I watched Land Before Time this morning. And I want to try and fit in some So Weird this weekend too. I started rewatching it a little while ago. So Weird was like Disney Channel's answer to X-Files for like preteens, and I loved it. I really loved it. Some episodes are really dark and kind of creepy, so I really want to dive into that a little bit more. But I don't know when I'm gonna have the time. I do have some like adult responsibility stuff I gotta do today. I gotta clean up my mess in here from where I've been lounging. And then I do gotta study and write some code today. All of that out of the way. Let's get into how I felt about Siege and Storm. So I'm gonna have to do some very, very minor spoilers, just to be able to really talk about the book. So people who might not have read the series yet or watched the Netflix show Shadow and Bone will get a kind of an idea of what it's about. I talked a little bit about it in the last clip, but Shadow and Bone is really kind of this, it's almost like a fantastical early 1900s, late 1800s world, where different nations have kind of been at war. There's this giant black cloud, basically, called the Unsea, that this evil guy, the Black Heretic, whose Grisha power, and Grisha are just like people who have magic or powers, however you want to really describe it. They kind of separate magic and Grisha powers in the books a little bit, but his is controlling shadows. He's the only one, or his family, I should say, is the only one. And then in the first book, it's about this girl, Alina, who her power is the opposite. She can summon light. So she gets brought in to try and help destroy the Fold. And there's all this kind of political stuff. And it is young adults. There is some romantic underpinnings. And then Siege and Storm is a continuation on that. I can't talk too much about what that all entails without big spoilers. But basically there are three, it's very Final Fantasy-esque. There are three things that they have to find that can amplify Grisha powers. And in this one, it's about finding the second one. And she also meets kind of more of the other big players in this world. If you watch this show on Netflix, Shadow and Bone, the crows are just not involved in At least the first two books. I haven't read the third one yet. The Crows are their own series, Six of Crows and the Crooked Kingdom, and I'll get to those eventually. But overall, I do really enjoy this. It's very fantastical. I really like the politicalness of the world building, and I kind of wish we got a little bit more of that, so I hope that we get into that. I don't think we'll get into it in the third book, because this trilogy is very focused on Alina, mostly Alina, and her best friend Mal, and then, obviously, big bad evil guys. But you don't get a really big glimpse into the world at large. So I'm hoping a lot of the side series, she has the one with the crows, and then she has another one that's about a character that's introduced here, actually. I don't want to get too into that, because that is, like, important spoiler territory. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. This is definitely going to be a couple prompts, couple pendants for the Blue Barracuda. Definitely going to be one of the long books, fantasy elements. I have to double check the list, but I think there's a couple. I can probably use it for, I think there's one that features an animal, but it doesn't necessarily have to be an animal attack. I think I would just call it animal attack, but it just has to feature an animal, I'm pretty sure. So I'm going to get through that, and then I do kind of want to read the first book in the Warriors series. I am going to do a video on that. I don't have any idea when that's coming out. I got a lot of stuff I want to shoot for it, and there are 5 other books I want to get to in that vlog. So after I get through that, because that's probably going to take a day or two, I am going to dive right into The Nest. This and Fresh Hell were my pinnacle reads for Old School April. Even though I lost all the content for Fresh Hell, I'm going to remake it. I really loved that book a lot. I thought it was very well done. Super excited for whatever Cameron brings next into the world of Autumn Crow High. And every single person in Old School April in the Discord that I have talked to The Nest about has told me it's incredible. It's a wild ride. It's a great paperback from hell, and I love that. These are the types of movies that I grew up on like Sci-Fi Channel. They weren't necessarily good, but they're really enjoyable to watch. It's a really wild ride, and it's super fun. So yeah, that's what I'm going to dive into next. Even though I did lose a bit of time, just from not feeling great and being a little stressed, I'm still having a blast with Old School April, so I'm really hoping that I can drive home this last week or two and get some content out, read some stuff, watch some stuff. I'm probably going to color some more, do some more of the activities to try and bring home some more pendants for the Blue Barracudas. As always, guys, thank you for tuning in. The support on my first video was just spectacular. It was beyond what I expected. Big thank you to Kelsey, the Bookubus, everyone in the Old School April that has subscribed or shouted me out in the Discord. It's really meant a lot. I feel really bad that I lost my Fresh Hell content because that was pretty much ready to go, but with this final clip, I'm gonna have a second video in the works, so I'm really hoping to get more consistent from that. Gonna have to be a lot more careful with my data storage from here on out. But thanks for watching, guys. Your support has really meant a lot, and I will see you in the next vlog. Noodle has done a thing. I'm gonna have to dig him out. He likes doing this every so often, but his tail is non-functional and stiff, so he's kind of just bending it. But he loves being in this hamper for whatever reason. I don't know. I don't understand.